We are live. We are on air.
We're on the air.
Podcast numero uno, brought to you by Kind Bars. Don't tell Danny.
Brought to you by Kind.
And probably get in trouble for that. So we're not brought to you by Kind Bars, but we should be. We should get some major pub. Yeah. So we'll just do the quick intro here. We started a blog. It's about Midwest sports. And this is a podcast we're going to do. We don't have a name for it. I called the hangout Down the Wormhole because you sent that email the other day, and I think that's just a fantastic word.
Do you know that guy? Do you know Smokey who sits on the corner of the street down there?
No, that makes it even better.
Oh, we absolutely know that guy. Drove by him for years. For all you Denver folks out there, Smokey, the guy who plays the guitar down in the corner of Park and Blake. Internet, check him out. Google Smokey homeless guitar. You will pull up a great YouTube video.
Oh, that's so good. Now we have to call it Down the Wormhole in honor of Smokey.
Down the Wormhole. And shit, he might be a guest appearance by episode 2, 3.
Man, that would just be fantastic. Why not? The only people that are going to listen to this are people that you and I know. That's what I've decided.
I'm actually pretty sure you and I will be the only two people to listen to this.
You and I might be the only two people to listen to this. Yeah. And Mike, because we're going to tell him that we talked about him.
Oh, yeah. He'd listen to 75 minutes if we mention his name one time at the very end.
Exactly. It'll be awesome.
All right, Jason, what are we gonna podcast about on this here thing?
So you're a Tigers fan and a Lions fan and just a general fan of Michigan sports, I feel like. Not state, but your wife's a fan of state. So you kind of have to be at some point.
Let's go, Mitten. And you're pretty, I said, let's go, Mitten.
Yeah, you're definitely the Mitten portion of this whole thing. I'm a do or die Wisconsin guy. Just Brewers and Packers.
Minus LSU.
And LSU. And the Bucks. I maybe am one of 500 Bucks fans in this country.
That's true. Fear the deer.
So, in fact, went to try and go to Bucks games whenever they're in town. But yeah, so we're going to talk about, our respective teams. I think a good little format for you and I would be we come up with questions about your team, and I come up with questions about your team. You come up with questions about my team, vice versa, and get each other's takes. We're also just generally fans of sports, right? I would say that.
Yeah, I enjoy sports.
Yeah, we all love sports. And so any big topic in the sports scene we're going to talk about, like in a couple minutes here, we got to talk about the Warriors. I mean, it's transcendent right now. Like Draymond Green hitting Hail Mary shots. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
so we'll hit it all, man.
Sports town. That's true.
What's that?
I said they're the talk of the sports town. We absolutely have to talk about them.
Exactly. Plus, we're going to be the official podcast of my former softball team, your current softball team. I believe we're 4-time City League champions.
Easily. LeBron, Chris Bosh, Wade, 4 championships. They base that off us.
Yeah, it's happening. People want to come play on Joe Boo's Rum. I'm going to try and make some guest appearances this summer.
Fly in specifically for beer league softball. That's commitment right there.
I'm gonna try and do all my work trips around Wednesday nights. So.
Well, I like that.
Let's start with the Warriors real quick, because you didn't get to watch Saturday night.
I did not watch Saturday night's game. I did not, but you did, and that led to roughly 17 unanswered solo texts on a string with a few other guys.
So Paz was doing a fantasy baseball draft, so he was with me. But it was one of the most ridiculous things I'd ever seen. I had to beat off my father-in-law to turn Fox Sports off or Fox News off so I could watch some of it.
That's horrendous.
I will say I cannot believe 2 things. One, I can't believe that there's a guy in the NBA that you literally can't let shoot from 40 feet away.
It's pretty incredible.
That's amazing to me. You got to guard the guy from the half-court line on. He's insane.
Not to mention he's a 5'11" lark.
Yeah, and we shouldn't be surprised, right? Because we saw him basically carry guys like you or I who could play on the Davidson team. He carried those guys to the Elite Eight. So now he's got actual talent around him, and it's like, damn, he's good.
I love his swagger. I love his confidence. He's playing better basketball than anyone in the league right now, and it's really fun to watch. I really enjoyed that LeBron this week commented after that game saying that he's never seen anyone do anything like that in the basketball game. So it kind of felt like a little bit of a passing of a torch when the former greatest player in the game is acknowledging it.
All these guys are. Like Dwayne Wade did it too. I mean, like, that's good and all, but wouldn't you – I guess you're kind of just submitting. You're like, whatever. You saw no Spurs say anything, though. That's for damn sure.
That's because the Spurs don't say anything. They're just drinking vino with Greg Popovich post-game.
Drinking vino and having, like, weird Da Vinci Code orgies and shit. That's what I feel like.
That's where he's good, but there's somebody else that deserves a lot of talking to when we talk Warriors, and you know who that is. Big Mo Spates. What are your thoughts on Mo Spates?
I sent a text out this weekend that said Maurice Spates is the Matt Stairs of the NBA.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Big Matt Stairs. Just roiding up. He's probably arm wrestling in the dugout between innings, hitting home runs. Spates, exact same thing. What a comparison.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you know that Maurice Spates is going to go, like, dominate rec league basketball when he's done with his NBA career. Just like I'm sure Matt Stairs is dominating softball league. I mean, Spates is just every time that guy's open from the elbow, he drains a shot.
It's incredible. It's incredible. I wouldn't be surprised if both Spates and Matt Stairs are doing that already, not even waiting till post-NBA career. That's what Spates does in the offseason. He just goes back to the cities and hustles like he's Woody Harrelson and Wes Snipes.
Yeah, man, he just goes and shows up, and he's like, who do you play for? He's like, I play for Harry's Pub. We're going to take it down this year. I'm playing for some free wings. I mean, that's exactly what this is.
Exactly. All right, so do you think are they gonna win 73 games this year? Are they gonna set the record?
Man, I don't know. I think so. So I heard something yesterday. I was listening to a podcast about the NBA or whatnot. They only have 7 road games left.
Unbelievable. How is that even possible?
Yeah, so if you think about that, how many more can they lose? Like 4? 5?
I think they have 5 losses now, so 82. Yeah. They don't 4. I think 4 more.
Yeah, I mean they're not going to lose. They're not going to lose at home, right? That's probably more amazing. They're going to go undefeated at home.
If they didn't last night against the Hawks in that game, did you see that game?
Yeah, I saw the highlights. It's ridiculous.
Unbelievable. They don't even need Steph Curry.
Yep. I mean, that's the crazy part. I think they're going to break the record. I think that they're going to roll through the playoffs. I mean, put it this way. Oklahoma City had a really good chance to beat them. It was at home. They were coming off a back-to-back or something like that, and Steph didn't play for 10 minutes because he got hurt, and they lost. Like, everyone's like the Oklahoma City matchup. I don't think they beat them. I think they roll. What do you think?
I don't think they do it. I don't think they can do it. I think something's going to catch up. I mean, Steph already tweaked his ankle. I mean, they're down a couple guys that were playing at the beginning of the year. Who's the guy I was just thinking of? Festus Ezeli. Where's Festus Ezeli? Where's my boy Uncle Festus?
Hasn't been around, man.
No, hasn't been around. I'm going to say I think injuries are going to catch up to him, and they're going to eventually be forced to sit some guys when they don't have to, kind of pull the old Spurs move and drop a couple games at the end.
That's probably true. I mean, what could happen too, right, is they could sit there and say, well, if they lose 1 or 2 out of like 5 or 6, they're just going to pack it in and they're going to get ready for the finals. Like they're going to take a couple more losses for them to be like, we don't care about this. Yep,
exactly. All right, well, the rematch against the Thunder is this week. I think they play back in Golden State tomorrow night. Tomorrow. Yeah. So that's pretty much must-see TV. Hopefully Steph plays.
Going to be must-see. I think that's the reason Steph didn't play last night. I mean, they're going to win that game. I don't think they lose at home.
They shouldn't, unless Russ and KD go in God mode. You never know. KD balled in that last game. It didn't look like Russ did too much.
No, he still scored like 20 and had like double-digit assists. But, yeah, I don't know. It'll be an interesting rest of the NBA season. So let's get to the real point of this podcast. Major League training spring training. I think games started today.
Here we go, baseball. Baseball.
It is. The sun is out here in Dallas, so I start thinking baseball.
I've been to the cages twice already.
You're dialing it in. Did you get a new bat?
No, I actually have not been to the cages, and no, we did not get a new bat.
So we like I said before, we're gonna do the 5 questions here, and So your first Tigers question was this. You guys, like the Tigers, the running theme with Detroit is great offense. I mean, you've had Miggy forever. JD Martinez is looking dialed. Good pitching up until maybe now. This year might be interesting. But the bullpen has just been a catastrophe for like 5 years now, I feel like.
Straight dumpster fire. Straight dumpster fire.
Just torched. I mean, Smokey's warming himself over that barrel. That's just happening.
I think Smokey might be able to take over the 7th inning jobs for the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are some of the names that have been rolled out? That Jumbo guy, didn't Jumbo Diaz pitch for you?
Oh yeah, we had the big pot. We had the big what's his name? The big potato, Jose Valverde.
Bruce Rendon. You had Bruce Rendon.
Got sent home at the end of last year. Joe Nathan with like a 50-year-old's shoulder and elbow, and then my favorite, only the Lord saves more, Todd Jones.
Todd, man, I'm telling you, he's going to come up later in this podcast. Joe Nathan.
He really should. He's the only guy I've ever known that wears urban camo undershirts under his jersey, so you can see that black, gray, and white camo popping out from underneath his.
He was great. He was the definition of a contact closer. He's like, they'll hit it to the warning track. I don't care. It was always dicey watching him.
And he legitimately scored today. He legitimately scored a Fu Manchu for about 7 years straight.
That's so awesome. So you brought in K-Rod this year, a former Brewer. I loved him as a Brewer. He got here as an 8th inning guy, drove us to the NLCS that one year. Him and John Axford, dynamic 1-2. But he's surprisingly young, for one. Like, how old do you think K-Rod is?
Oh, God, he's got to be 34.
Yeah, I mean, that's where he's at. He's like 32, 34, something like that. I always thought he was like 40.
Yeah,
he's super young.
He's been around for a long time. First of all, I love you reliving the glory days of the Brewers bullpen of old back there. Axford and K-Rod, a bunch of crazy wife beaters.
My team's going to lose 100 games. I need to relive anything I can.
Very true. Very true. All right, so Tigers bullpen. Definitely made it a priority and improved it this offseason. Everyone knows that. They went and they got K-Rod to take over the closing duties. They traded for Mark Lowe. They signed the Wilson.
Really?
Yep. They got Mark Lowe. They have Alex Wilson. They traded for this guy named Justin Wilson from the Red Sox. They still have Rondon. They got rid of Al Albuquerque, everyone's favorite Al.
That guy was a train wreck, too.
That's a positive. I was going to say that's a positive. I'm listing that in the positives column here, that he's gone. So they definitely made it a priority. They've got about 3 or 4 new arms. That's kind of who they targeted early and often. So on paper, they're better. I have a lot of questions about it still.
I can tell you 2 things about K-Rod. Well, first, he only blew 2 saves last year. That's pretty good. He had it was like 32 of 34 or something like that.
That's great, but that's true.
There are going to be now. Granted, there weren't a lot of opportunities, so you got to make that needs to be made aware. This guy, he still has the change piece. That's a dirty pitch. I love it. My favorite pitch in baseball.
Oh, he's always had that. Rivals Johan Santana's.
Yeah. The problem K-Rod has is you're going to get a lot of 0-2 home runs. And you're going to hate it.
That's so frustrating.
I can groove my 80 and my 92 mile an hour fastball belt high in this 0-2 count because they won't see it coming. And then it just disappears over the wall. So that'll be ready for that. That's all I'm going to tell you about K-Rod. It's going to suck. You're going to yell. And you're probably going to say something obscene about his domestic affairs.
Being a veteran pitcher myself, I know how important it is to use those waste pitches when you're up in the count. So, K-Rod, I'm going to have to highly advise you to use 2 pitches. Bounce one in the dirt, man. There's plenty of guys out there like Lindbergh and Scotts of the world that'll swing at that 0-2 pitch.
Yeah. Unlike the citywide league, Major League Baseball does not have a 1 home run policy. Does not work for K-Rod.
Too bad. Overall, I say the Tigers bullpen up from last year for sure, but it's offset by the deterioration of their starting rotation. Lost too many pitchers the last couple of years, filling the bottom of the rotation with a couple.
Great segue.
So what they did for the bullpen, they've downgraded in the rotation. That's my take.
Who's
All
your
right.
number one?
Number one starter?
Yeah.
I mean, JV is going to start opening day, but Jordan Zimmerman is probably maybe a better pitcher at this point in his career, coming off an injury. But
The Wisconsin native.
what?
Wisconsin native.
Yuck. I like him a little bit less now.
He's from Stevens Point.
There you go. For all you Scotties out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he'll be good. He kind of was supposed to be better last year and didn't really pan out.
Yeah.
That's true, man. That was losing Price was an interesting move.
Scherzer and Price in back-to-back seasons. Is that good?
No, Scherzer played that one really well too because he made a boatload of money.
Oh, David Price. They combined, they made $400 million.
Yeah, you can't pay those guys like that. So the
Unbelievable.
Tigers will be good. So on a personal level, who's your Scherzer candidate? I mean, there's been some turnover. Do you own a Scherzer right now?
Jersey. I have, let's see here, jerseys. I don't have a current Tigers jersey.
Me neither. I don't
have
have a current Brewer.
Okay, I have a former Tigers jersey that I have outgrown over the last few years with a couple too many brewskis. So my wife currently wears it, and it's the one, the only.
That's awful.
The one, the only Grandy man, Curtis Granderson.
That's pretty good. So you couldn't even cut the sleeves off to make it work. You just had to give it up. You're just I'm done.
Gave it up, and I'm bummed. It's a comfortable T-shirt.
Okay. Then you gotta have a candidacy. I feel like all you Detroit fans, no one has any current jerseys.
No.
Lions, Tigers, Pistons. I don't know anybody that has a current team jersey.
That's because they all leave within a freaking 3 years or retire when they're 29 years old. Barry, Calvin.
Oh, that hurts. So if you had to go to the store,
chime in. Christy's upping our game in jerseys. She just reminded me she also has a Verlander jersey. She has
she's got the one guy.
Thing, the home Verlander.
That's good stuff. So who would you get? Would you go with Castellano? Are you a believer?
Yeah, he'd be a fun one. There's a couple other guys that are real likable on the team right now. The guy I would get, in all honesty, and this is going to be a little bit of a surprise, is James McCann, the young catcher, second-year catcher. This kid immediately took over leadership roles last year, hit clutch home runs, took over the staff, managed it really well. He's fucking awesome, and he would be my jersey guy for sure.
That's called hitching it to the wagon early, man.
Hell yeah, man.
Getting the jersey, the number one draft pick in the NFL.
Yep, exactly. Right? And come on, it's not that bad. Not that bad.
No, it's not. I mean, you're not going to get Miggy. You could get a couple years out of that. JD Martinez would be a good one.
JD would be fun. Justin Upton would be fun since they just signed him to a pretty big long-term deal. I mean, you can go throwback. I know we're only talking currents right now here, but what if I brought out a Prince Fielder jersey, like XXX Prince Fielder jersey?
I own one. It's a Rangers jersey, though. It's my only current player.
Did I say Prince? I meant Cecil. I totally meant Cecil.
Oh, see, Brewers reliving the glory days again, man.
Yep, going back. Tigers and Brewers. Gotta relive glory days.
All right, so this is we're not videoing this because I'm like reading my phone, but I love your idea of picking ideal at-back walk-up songs. This is great.
Okay.
So hit me with yours is first. Miggy? What would you go with?
All right. Miggy's walk-up song. Let's see here.
I mean, right now he's got to have some Latin mix, right?
Oh, dude, it's totally Latin. I mean, everyone leans towards Pitbull, but I'm gonna go. Sean Paul Latin. Sean Paul. Lord of mercy. No.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Sean Paul.
Throwback Shawnee Paul, man.
Sean Paul.
I feel
I
that.
don't really know what them say. I really do what they don't do.
So here's my take on Sean Paul real quick, sidebar. I think that Sean Paul was actually just that guy Snow. And he just revives himself year after year, or like every 10 years.
He morphs.
Remember the former guy?
Morphs into someone every year.
Yeah. All right.
I can see that.
Justin Upton, the newest Tiger.
Justin Upton. Oh, he's got to listen to some of that gangster shit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with his would be Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City.
Oh, you go with Kendrick. You'd actually give him some credit. You don't go with. All right, I like that. See, for him, I was thinking.
Knowing baseball players, he'd pick something terrible, like rock music, some sort of terrible, terrible rock music.
That would be awful. I doubt it. I mean,
I'm always shocked at the walk-up songs you hear when you go to games. They're terrible.
yeah, but Justin Upton, I'm with you, man. The worst he's gonna get is it's just some like really popular rapper, right?
Yep.
JV. Now, what country song are you gonna go with?
Oh, JV's got to listen to terrible music. I mean, he's got to listen to
awful, right?
This is close to my heart from this past weekend, going to the Winter Stadium Series Classic outdoors. I think JV would walk up to the fray. How to Save a Life.
Yes. Of course he would, and they'd always pan to Kate singing it. It would just be fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. Zoom in on that mole thing right on the side of her face.
Big time. I love that. All right. And this is our last Tiger question for you, man. One figure, current, past, or present, who gives the Tigers a championship contender this year.
Wow. Can you repeat that one more time?
It's obviously so give me a Tiger that would make them a contender this year.
Does it have to be a Tiger, or can it be anyone? Can it be anyone?
I think we got to do like a Tiger. Maybe one figure. Give me one figure. Athlete, you said athlete, motivator, entrepreneur, you name it. Any person who makes him a contender. Besides Todd Jones. The obvious answer is Todd Jones.
There it is. We hit our Todd Jones quota for this week.
That's what I'm saying. The obvious answer here is Todd Jones.
All right. This is a tough one being put on the spot here. I'm going to have to say something relevant. I think Tiger Woods makes this team a contender. Not current Tiger Woods. I'm talking 2000 Tiger Woods.
Competitive Tiger Woods.
Pre-Thanksgiving, pre-car bashing, Ellen smacking him around Tiger Woods. I think so. A, his name is Tiger, so being around Tiger.
Great point.
B, at that time, I mean, he was unstoppable, and he had the focus and determination that these Tigers sorely lacked the two times they've made it to the World Series in the last 10 years. Yeah. I think that could have turned them into a championship team that would have just kept it going all along.
And that's why I say Jim Leland.
Ooh, God, that's a good one. Why didn't I think of that?
I mean, if Jimmy would come back, get the guy a thing of cigarettes for a year, and whip these guys into shape.
Dude, I bet the Detroit cigarette market has just fucking tanked since Leland left town.
No, I mean, I'm sure plenty of people still smoke like Merritts and shit over there.
Very true. All right, let's stop talking about the Tigers and let's cut over to the Brewers real quick.
The crew.
Everyone's favorite crew. My favorite Brewer as an outsider is definitely Bernie the Brewer, the guy going down the slide every time they hit a home run. That might be the best job in all of baseball right there. Jake, I know you're a little down. You've already made a couple comments so far. So my first question for you today is, why won't this Brewers team lose 100 games this year?
Here's my answer, and this is a cop-out. Because it's really hard to lose 100 games.
That's a lot of games. That 100 is a lot of games.
I went back. Since like 2010, 7 teams have lost 100 games. And no one's done it since like 2013.
That's awful.
I'm not saying the talent is definitely not there, but it's just hard to lose 100 games. And so for that reason alone, I think they lose like 98. But
90 is still a pretty impressive feat when you think
they're going to lose 90 games. I mean, the only other thing that helps them out is their bullpen. They got a pretty good bullpen, so they could shorten up games. I mean, Will Smith.
Who's their bullpen?
Their bullpen right now, it's going to be Will Smith is probably taking over the closer role. He pitched really well last year.
Is that why he wasn't at the Oscars?
The white Will Smith, the jiggy one himself.
Sure.
And then they've got a couple other guys, Jeremy Jeffress, who could be a closer, Corey Nebel. They're kind of unheard of guys, but the Brewers last year had one of the better bullpens in baseball, and they didn't lose anybody. In fact, they probably added by kind of getting rid of K-Rod. Sounds weird, but K-Rod was almost the weak link out of that pen, and now you can get some more hard throwers, nasty stuff.
Opens up the door clears salary cap space. You don't have to pay him a high number when you got young guys that can do a similar job right behind him.
Exactly. So, I mean, they could have a 7, 8, 9. What's that?
I think Corey Knebel came from the Tigers at some point. I know the name for sure. I remember him being around.
And, yeah, it's just one of those things where they should be pretty good pens. So, I mean, if you can shorten the games up, play some good defense, you never know what can happen. But in reality, this year's Brewers season is about not losing 100 games.
That sucks. You never like going into those seasons.
Well, I mean, they got it against them. They got the Cubs, Cardinals, and Pirates all in the division.
Oh, it's the division from hell. That is 3 teams that you do not want to mess with. And the Cubs are built for longevity. The Pirates look like they're built for longevity.
Yeah. It's just going to be a train wreck of a year. We're going to get through it, but it's going to be depressing.
That it is. All right, can we take a quick break from word from our sponsors real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Great.
We'll just edit this out.
Some bottom cheese. You need a glass?
Yeah.
What are you guys eating?
I made some peppers, pasta, sausage, mushrooms. You got that?
Looks dialed, man.
Thanks. I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to be great. It's going to be delicious.
I like it.
All right. I'm ready to get this bitch back on you.
Yep, let's do it.
All right, and we're back.
Andy's eating.
I'm
so
eating.
If you hear anything, it's that.
If you've heard anything this entire time, I just cooked a legit 3-course meal while we've been recording the first 25 minutes of this entire thing, while Jake has drank 4 Mexican beers already.
That's all I drink, man. I'm closer to the south. Build me that wall.
Do they come in 24 packs that are cut in half with a piece of tape?
No, that's a strictly singers thing / Asian thing.
That's a bummer. I'm used to that around here near Federal. That's how we get our beer.
That's an Asian liquor store thing, I feel like.
All right. Well, we're on to question 2. We've already heard from Jake why the Brewers won't lose 100 games, and that was because it's really hard. Number 2 for Jake, they've had a kind of a weird offseason getting rid of some of their guys that honestly looked like it made up their offensive core. You know, I'm talking the Carlos Gomez's of the world, your boy Crush Davis, who just got dealt last week, Gene Segura. I mean, they've lost a lot of the good young players everyone thought was going to make the Brewers good the last couple of years. What's the outlook on offense, and why is the team doing this?
It's going to be bad. I should say it's going to be okay until we trade John LaCroix and Ryan Braun, and then it's going to be really bad. Basically,
is that on the docket this year? Are they totally going to clean house?
Oh, yeah. I mean, LaCroix's been rumored to be gone since, like, December. And if Braun can play himself out of town, he's going to be gone too. So it's going to be a complete rebuild. The offense this year, they're probably going to hit a lot of home runs. They signed Chris Carter, as I like to call him, Chocolate Mark Reynolds.
He looks like a new age, way worse Fred McGriff. I always think Fred McGriff when I see Chris Carter for some reason.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he can't hit baseballs.
Other than home runs. He's like Pedro Serrano.
Yeah, when he does hit them, they go a really long way.
Yep.
They got that. I mean, they've got another guy, Domingo Santana, who people get excited about, but he's kind of in the same mold. He's going to connect with some balls. They're going to go over the fence, but he's not going to hit for average. I mean, the team batting average is probably going to be like 240. The rest of the guys are literally just replacement level guys like Jonathan Villar. He's probably going to play shortstop. I don't even know who's going to play center field. I couldn't even tell you. Somebody, I guess.
That's terrible.
Until like a couple weeks ago, we didn't even have like a full team. So I don't know, man. It's going to be a train wreck. We've taken like 8 guys and we're throwing them against the wall, hoping someone can play third base. like Will Middlebrooks, Garen Shassini. It's gonna be awful.
How did Middlebrooks fall off so fast? Everyone thought he was going to be the new thing that year in Boston, and then all of a sudden he's been traded 4 times since then.
Yeah, and he was picked up, I think, off like the waiver wires this time around. They signed a kid that could go play center for us, Reimer Liriano. He was a hot prospect a couple years back, kind of flamed out after he had to have surgery. So, I mean, I'll tell you what, it's going to be pretty bad. The only thing good is maybe they bring up Arcia, our big prospect shortstop, and maybe he hits. But everything else, I mean, we're going to hit home runs and we're going to strike out a lot, and that's about it.
Who are the guys they got for some of those deals? I mean, giving up Gomez, they should have got a nice return from the Astros.
They got a lot of guys down at like AA.
So they're just not ready yet?
I mean, like our entire prospect system is new, essentially. The Gomez trade worked out. They got a couple really good pitchers that have kind of flashed, and Brett Phillips, who's pretty good. But, I mean, those guys aren't going to play this year. So, like I said, the only thing good about this team is the bullpen. Everything else is a train wreck, especially once LaCroix and Braun get dealt.
All right. Well, since you're down on the team this year, I want to know, similar to the question you asked me, who's your Brewers jersey candidate for the year? Knowing some of these guys might get dealt, and then who would be your all-time Brewers jersey? If you could pick any Brewers jersey to acquire, what would that be?
Oh man, so I own a Gene Segura jersey. That's gone, so I'm out on that. If I had to buy a jersey from somebody on the team this year, I think I'd buy Reimer Liriano, just because I really want him to make the team and do well because I own him in a fantasy league. So I need him to turn it around, and I feel that a little Cheebs karma can take this up a notch. If I could go anybody, Big Daddy Prince is my dude. I love that guy. I was so pissed when we let him walk. Him or Zach Greinke. The Zach Greinke days were fantastic.
Yeah, you've had some fun ones. Prince was such a monster for you guys those years.
Prince was a monster. He was like going after guys like he wanted to. I can't remember the Dodgers. He wanted to fight the entire Dodgers team one time. That team had swagger when Prince was on it, and he left, and it all went down the drain.
What NL team hasn't wanted to fight the Dodgers recently? Haven't they almost gotten a fight with like 4 other teams for swimming in the Diamondbacks pools after they clinched in their stadium and stuff?
Yeah, right. I know, man. They're a team. When you've got Yasiel Puig just doing crazy things,
big time. Mix that with some young Jock Peterson.
Young Jock, who I didn't know was white.
Wait, what?
Jock Peterson's white, isn't he?
Oh, so white. Real white.
I didn't put that together until the home run derby last year.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's a good future down the wormhole podcast topic. White guys with the best black names and black guys with the best white names.
Yeah, like Chris Carter.
Yep. Write that one down. All right. So we heard your jersey candidates. Another one similar to you asked me. I want to hear what would be the best at-bat song, walk-up song, something to get them pumped up for a couple of the guys who are on your squad this year. So I picked out a couple of guys here.
Yeah.
Who would you say what song would be the ideal at-bat walk-up song for, let's say, Ryan Braun?
I mean, Ryan Braun, this is a guy he's a hardo, right? So he like wears affliction shirts and all sorts of weird things.
Loves the MMA. Loves it.
Loves the MMA. So it's got to be something just like weird rock. I don't know bands. That's my problem on this one. Help me out.
I'm gonna need something.
What's that?
I said I'm gonna need something.
You're gonna need something. I mean, it's not Nickelback. I feel that's too mainstream, but it'd be something along those lines. Something with just a weird sound to it.
Fair. We can go with Nickelback. I'd say Nickelback.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a good one. It's just like a bro rock band.
I feel like it's already like 26% of all baseball players walk-up music anyway.
Yeah, who was that guy on American Idol? Daughtry. Braun's rocking out to Daughtry.
Oh, God. I have a really funny story about Daughtry. My old company threw a concert, and Daughtry was the headliner at this concert, and my good friend, who a lot of you have met, Jay Bliston, shout out to JB, had to manage a concert for Mr. Daughtry. It was the night of the NCAA championship game The championship game got a late start. It was in Atlanta at the time, so it didn't finish until like midnight Eastern time. And then there was a Daughtry concert right afterwards, about 3/4 of a mile from the stadium. My buddy was down there. Daughtry's getting ready to play in the arena, or it wasn't even arena. The venue was only about a quarter full, and Daughtry threw a hissy fit on stage and walked off the stage after only playing a few songs because there weren't enough people there, and it was embarrassing to him, and we did a terrible job promoting it. Threw a huge hissy fit and walked out, and essentially still had to pay for a bunch of stuff. It was fantastic. So that guy's a total douche.
Daughtry hot takes. Love it.
Daughtry hot takes. Daughtry hot takes. All right, so that's a good one for Braun, the fucking cheater. I also would have accepted something to do with pee, since he claimed that his pee was tampered with when he got caught for using PEDs when he clearly took PEDs. So R. Kelly's "I Want to Piss on You" came to mind.
Hey, come on. We got to keep that image good so he can get trade value. You need to bump that up, man.
Fair. All right, well, since he's going to get traded, what about our other boy? What about Luke Roy? What's his at-bat walk-up?
Luke's a country guy, right? Luke's a Florida Georgia line guy. Yeah. That's my take.
Florida Georgia line. Just crap rock country.
Just
okay.
All right. Rock country that has like – they're a weird band. They have like 6 lyrics per song, I feel like, and they just repeat them and then shoot fire.
And one of the guys is real country. He's from Eaton Rapids, Michigan. What up, EPR?
Is he really?
Oh yeah, I don't know which one. Probably not any of the famous ones. Is Nelly officially part of Florida Georgia line? Is he the Georgia in? Oh no, because he'd be Missouri. So Nelly's not part of Florida Georgia line.
No, Nelly's just trying to make it big again.
Yet, I still think Nelly might join Florida Georgia line officially and be Missouri Florida Georgia line.
I like that.
Yeah. All right, last one for you, and this one's going to get real weird. What's the current at-bat walk-up song for Scooter Gannett?
Oh, I thought you were going to give me Matt Garza, whose walk-up should be just a dumpster fire, because that guy sucks.
Just a roaring fire, crackling fire.
Just a roaring fire with a couple hobos making conversations about what they like ate out of the dumpster that night.
Broken glass every couple minutes.
Yeah, bitching about Matt Garza, being like, man, my life sucks, but at least they don't have that guy's fastball.
Or sideburns.
Yeah, I mean, I hate that guy. Scooter's the same as now, you know what? Scooter's gonna go with like something weird like Tulo went with that one year when he did Miley. Scooter's gonna rock some Selena Gomez.
Yeah, he would. I should have gone Garza. Your Garza response was way better. And now my head's just spinning. I think we need to officially record the sounds of a dumpster fire and play it every single time Garza pitches while he's warming up.
It's the entire pitching staff.
God, the Tigers might be right there with you. So we're really excited about our baseball teams this year.
Can you imagine that? If you're a pitcher, wouldn't that be hilarious if you know this guy's bad and you want him out of town? Like, that's what you put on the Jumbotron, just a burning dumpster.
Oh man, that's what'll get an employee fired. I know the Lions did that back in the 2000s. The first year they got rid of Joey Harrington, the
days of the Million Man March or the Million Man March or whatever it was.
Well, probably it was in the same era. Matt Millen was definitely overseeing it since Jack Assery was involved. But the first game, Joey Harrington came back and played as a member of the Dolphins, where he carved up the Lions, carved them up. But they played Piano Man for him when he walked in, essentially insinuating that he was a homo as he was walking into the field, and got a ton of negative press about it and had to fire the video or the audio guy.
So that's my favorite Lion story, the Joey Harrington piano guy. It's just so good.
Oh God, the freaking Lions. We'll save that for the fall or later in the summer or something. I don't know my seasons. All right, man. Last question. What one figure, current or past, it could be an athlete, it could be a motivator, celebrity, endorser, anything you want it to be. What one figure can make the Brewers a contender this year? Tiger Woods is off the table, Jake.
Tiger Woods is off the table. I mean, here's the deal. They're not going to be a contender no matter who you stick on this team. You could put Ted Williams or anybody else on this team, and they're going to suck. So my thought is I want someone –
Ted Williams now or Ted Williams back in like the 50s? Because Ted Williams now won't make anyone a contender, man.
No, he's got it's all that's left of him, right, is like a frozen head. No, I mean Ted Williams from like the 50s.
Okay.
I mean, you could take any one of these guys and they're going to be bad. So I just want someone who's going to be entertaining. Like, I want someone who's just going to cause a ruckus out there. And I think that guy would probably have to be Merton Hanks.
Tom Hanks?
No, Merton Hanks. I want a dude out there just wearing a turtleneck doing like headstands and shit.
I don't even know who Merton Hanks is.
Well, he was that guy that did that like wobble chicken neck for the San Francisco 49ers.
Awesome. Merton Hanks. I thought he was
like an entertaining athlete. I mean, that's probably a bad one. T.O. Put Terrell Owens on this team. Make him a baseball team and just give him the microphone after a game. It would give me a reason to watch to the end.
Doc Ellis? What about Doc Ellis?
Who's that?
Getting all sorts of loose out there, throwing no-hitters on LSD.
Oh, yes. That's what the Brewers need to do. Just get drugs going on.
Pull the old Matt Moorhead pitch.
Yeah. That'd be fantastic. All right, let's talk a little Jobu's rum.
That's a good segue.
We told Mikey we didn't. We were going to do it. We haven't told anybody about this. So Jobu's rum, our old softball team. Give me the new guys, man. You got a new squad this year. Last year ended poorly from what I heard.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude, we flamed out. We absolutely flamed out last year. Well, first of all, it hasn't been the same since our fearless leader, Jeeves the Hammer, left. The team just has not been the same. There's been a gaping hole at second base, a gaping hole, rounding the base paths, head first sliding, and the only thing that's not missing is drops from second base because you can't squeeze the nut. But new guys that have since replaced you. Let's see. We have an old newcomer joining us, the one, the only Dave Dick and Sheets coming back, making his triumphant return to the squad.
All right.
We've got a guy who I can't remember if you played with or not, but a guy we call Puck. Puck's joining it.
I've never played with him.
Okay, but you know him. I mean, he can play ball, so that's an exciting addition. And I think that's it, man. I really think that's it. But excitement's high. We got Mikey. Mikey's been getting emails going out. He's trying to shake everyone down for money already.
He seems pretty fired up.
I mean, fired up. So I think that's the first of 5 questions about Jobu's rum. How fired up is Mike? So Jake, on a scale of 1 to 10, how fired up do you think Mike is right now?
I mean, I'm still on all the emails, and I could tell you, Mikey emailed me at the beginning of the year and said, "Hey, man, would you like to be the pseudo owner of the team?" And I was like, sure, why not? And judging by the fact that he wants out-of-state involvement, Mikey's on at least a level 10 fired up right now.
What does that even mean? He wants you to be part owner. Does he want you to pay for us to play? Do you have to fund it?
I'm not paying anybody. I'm Jerry Jones, baby.
I'm pretty sure he's asking you to pay for the league for us, man. I'm pretty sure that's positive.
Maybe he wants me to pay for the bat again.
And that makes sense because he's the one that's asking for money. But if you pay, he's just pocketing that money, and that makes a lot of sense. We all know Mike's tendencies over the years. Upcharge his own teammates for T-shirts, upcharge all the league fees by $5 per person per year. Guy has made thousands of dollars off us for playing.
Still my favorite thing. Hey guys, we got to have jerseys with numbers on them.
And the first team we show up to has like spray painted numbers on the back or no numbers at all. Jesus, we were Teletubbies. There's no numbers on the Teletubbies.
I know, I saw that. So Dave's coming back.
The Dick.
Dave exited the scene because he won the Shug. I think that was the game I yelled at him, and he never came back and played. Is he gonna wear the Shug upon his comeback? For everyone who doesn't know, the Shug is a senior powder puff jersey that we bought at Goodwill and we wash once every 365 days. And if you're the worst player that night, you get to play it. Or if the voting block votes against you, which is typically voting against Mike.
It's a cesspool of germs and sweat and shoe spit and farts. It's horrible. You don't want anything to do with it. Every time you have to slide, your nipples get chafed. It's terrible. It's an awful, awful jersey. So I have a very thoughtful and well thought out response to this question, and that is, I plead the fifth. This is a topic I'm not touching. So, Cheebs, do you think Dave will wear the Shug upon his return to the Diamond this year?
No, he will not, but he should, because he exited playing awful, and he's returning, and if he wants to make it up to the team, he needs to wear the Shug.
He did not play that bad. you were too harsh on him as one of his best friends, and I think the fact that you are since gone, I think he's really gonna shine and thrive this season. I expect big things out of the return pick this year. He's been studying.
So you're saying I put too much pressure on him.
Oh, absolutely. You put too much pressure on everyone.
No, that's not true.
Luckily, Jay has picked that up and become team asshole. So you've been.
See, that was the problem. That's what you're going to run into. There were about 3 team assholes on that team, and we all divided evenly. Now there's only 2, maybe 1.5, and it's going to get bad.
2 team assholes, a couple team yellers at the umpires and or other team. Yeah, we've got enough characters.
I mean,
all right, that's a good segue. So, well, with the fact that you've been gone, how long have you been gone now? When did you move?
6 months.
6. That's all?
Yeah.
6 months in Texas. You've been a Texan for 6 months. All right. So you missed most of all of last summer seasons. Like I said, there was a big void.
Yeah, I did not play in the fall season. I played all the summer season.
That's right. So it was the fall season. Well, there was a big void, and I know we just touched on it, but what you brought to the team, was just a lot of passion and energy and excitement in all phases of the game. Who's going to take up on those items? More importantly, who's going to take up yelling at teammates, yelling at umpires, yelling at old people that we play against?
Yeah, I mean, I think that void should be left empty. It's probably best that no one yells at old people again. That was a low point in my intramural rec league softball scenario, but the guy had it coming.
Probably a low point in your life, in all honesty.
Pretty close. I mean, I've had a couple, but that one was pretty bad. I mean, I'd have to say Jay and I are cut from the same cloth, so he might let it come out a little more this year. But I think after last year's fall season, the expectations are just probably a little lower. So I think things will probably be a little more chilled out.
Yep, I agree. All right, moving on to the next question, Jacob. Let's alternate back and forth on these ones right here. We wanted to go through and do some preseason predictions. So we have a couple different categories here that we're going to go through, and I want you to quickly give me who you think it will be in a 1 to 2 sentence explanation as to why. Okay. All right, preseason prediction: most home runs.
Mizlone.
And why?
Guy hits the daylights out of the ball. I think Jay's got a hurt shoulder. He's been telling me so.
Yeah, Jay has like a torn labrum, yet he just continues to do everything he did before and just hurts it every night.
Yep. So I'm going to go with Miz.
Fair.
Oh, the next one. I got to read these.
Yeah, you bastard.
Sorry, man. The back and forth, I missed it. All right. So
your cute teleprompter.
Most errors. This is good that you got this one.
Most errors. All right. There's a couple very likely candidates popping through my mind. I think DeGrasse is always good for the crazy good play, but then a couple botch jobs. We lost Barnett. Oh, God, Bobby. Bobby would be a good one. Scott would be a pretty good one. I would be a pretty good one. Because I'm doing this, I'm not going to say myself. So I'm going to go with Bob. I think Bob is going to make the most errors this year. I think it's going to be a close race between a couple guys, but I think Bob's going to do it, and I think it's going to be because he's going to be distracted. I think he's got a lot going on in his life, and I think he's just going to be a little distracted here and there. So I'm going to put most errors on Bob.
He's got a lot going on in his life. That's what you're going with.
It's not, put it this way, it's not the summer of Bob anymore, okay? All right, Chiefs, season prediction. Who's going to have the most trips running around the diamond?
I feel that Dan Dwiggins falls over a lot. I don't know if he's actually ever fallen over. I just feel like he falls over. I feel like he trips over the bases every now and then. So
there was like a 2 or 3 season span where he played in tennis shoes. So I would just
yeah,
Andy's outfit. I think it was right after the bat bag was stolen and he lost his cleats. And then he continued to play in tennis shoes for the next year and a half.
Yeah, so Dwiggins is definitely going to be my pick for that.
Fair. I like it.
And it's going to be, that's my guy. Most injuries. We're falling apart. I'm not going to lie to you. We're all getting to be like mid-30s. Injuries are playing a significant part of softball and all recreational sports. Who's going to have the most injuries this year?
We had a lot of injuries last year. We are quite an injury-prone team. I mean, again, a handful
There's
of guys.
an obvious answer here.
Yes, I was going to say, again, a handful of guys that I think could be in the running, but the only Mike DeGrazio is absolutely going to be the only guy that's gotten injured. Let's quickly run through and talk about his injuries real quick. Last summer, he shattered his nose diving off a diving board into a pool.
He broke his finger, right? Or he broke his hand, something playing football.
Yep, broke his hand playing football. What else?
Something to his shoulder.
Yep. He hurt his shoulder, couldn't throw from the outfield the year, but then decided to start throwing himself out in the outfield in key situations anyway, even though he couldn't throw.
Yeah, that's right. There was a couple of weeks where he's like, guys, I can only play catcher. And then like later in the game, he'd be in the outfield.
Yeah.
Whipping balls around.
Left field by the sixth inning, bottom of the sixth for sure. But then the one injury I always like to bring up the most is the night that we all went out to a concert on Halloween, and we were dressed as the Birds of War from Always Sunny, meaning no shirts, wearing cargo shorts, and had giant wings coming down our arms with drawn abs on our stomachs. And I wake up the next morning after going home a little earlier than everyone else, and I get a call from Mike, and he's like, dude, I got jumped. I got jumped walking home from the bar last night.
What?
I'm like, oh my God, no way. He's like, yeah, I lost my wallet. I'm bleeding. There's blood all over the house. There's all sorts of stuff, but I got jumped last night. So I get off the phone with him. I quickly call up to Wiggins, and I'm like, dude, Mike got jumped last night. Dan just starts laughing. And I'm like, what? And he goes, Mike didn't get jumped. He tripped walking home from the bar, fell down, bloodied himself up, lost his wallet, and then continued to make his way home and thought he got jumped. So hands down, Michael is the one that's going to have the most injuries this season. Let's hope they're very minor. All right, Jake, who's going to take up your old role? Who's most likely to get tossed from a game this year?
Man, most likely to get tossed from a game. It's going to be Jay.
I like it. Why?
Because Jay likes to get on the refs. Jay likes to get on the umps. He doesn't like bad calls, and there's a couple umps out at the old Denver Rec League that just make some bad calls, and he'll get a little vocal. So this year he's not going to have me to hold him back. He's only going to have Miz. Our infield, we balanced each other out pretty good from a getting after people standpoint, and there's no guy going to hold him back this year. So I think most likely to get tossed is going to be Jay.
Our infield must have been the most irritating infield for any other team, with Miz at third, Jay at short, you at second, and SMT in his adult dormitory manning first base.
Just chirping the whole time.
3 loudmouths, and then Jay just being a total ass.
But we were good, so it helped.
Oh, yeah. Damn good when you can close your mitt and actually catch the ball.
Yeah, you know what? That was a failed purchase. I'll admit that now that I'm gone.
The $300 Great White Buffalo, a $300
free. All right. So this is the second to last one. I hear this is not happening anymore, though. Most heaters consumed. It sounds like everyone's off the heater train.
Yeah, things have gotten weird, man. Things have gotten weird. Heaters have. I think people started to realize that they don't want their lungs to be filled with tar, so they've cut them out. Most people are switching over to the natural, delicious substance.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Legal.
But most heaters consume. Man, that's a good one. I really don't think anyone's doing them anymore. But again, I think it's got to go to Drew.
Yep.
I'd say Drew would be the one likely to crack this year. He's got a newborn kid. He's going to be under a lot of stress. He's going to be getting out.
Heater intake went way up after Allen.
I figured you're going to want to, right? I mean, he's going to every week he's going to get an hour to get out of the house and get away from the kid, and he's just going to go buy a pack and chug through that whole thing. I'm predicting many an outfield dart where Drew has it, lays it down in the outfield before he goes and makes a catch, come back, picks it up, takes a couple more puffs. So Drew's the one for most heaters consumed.
Conceived.
All right. Consumed? Is that a word? I just invented it. It sounds real dirty. All right. And the last prediction, most likely to get into a car accident while leaving the field. Who do you got?
Man, I'm going to go with the new guy, Puck, just because his name is Puck.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. He looks like a lunatic. He probably drives out of control, so I think that's a pretty good one. I think Dan Dwiggins. I think Dan Dwiggins, good old Dent Dwiggins, is the one I had in mind with this one.
Yeah.
Were you around for that? No, he hit Drew leaving the park.
There's precedent there.
And then gave Drew hush money not to tell anyone about it.
Yeah, I asked Drew. I was like, "What's in your car, man?" It's like, Danny.
Not much. Nothing, dude. Just Dan. Don't say anything. But it was just Dan. It's because he got a fat envelope from Dan. Like, hey, man, don't tell anyone about this.
He got that kind money.
Exactly. He just got hooked up with kind for months. I also would have accepted Ryan Schimmel. We all know how much he liked to get a little inebriated and drive around. So had you selected Ryan Schimmel, even though he doesn't play on the team anymore, I think I also would have accepted that he probably is the most likely to get into a car accident leaving the field.
Are you? Yeah, I think I'm going to see Schimmel on this golf trip.
I am as well.
You're coming.
I am coming. Deposit is paid. I Venmoed it. I finally downloaded freaking Venmo and joined the 21st century.
We're going to have a good time.
I'm excited about it. And Schimmel for a week in 120 degrees. You think he wears sweatpants while he golfs with socks tucked in, like knickers?
Payne Stewart style.
Do you think he wears his exact same pants?
And he's going to have a 17-year-old girl be his caddy.
He's going to have a different 17-year-old come into the hotel every single night. That's fantastic. He's married now. The Schimmel is married.
I know. I heard.
Fantastic.
So we got one more. I mean, you know my answer to this question. Give me a figure that brings Jobu back to contender levels.
And we all know it. So we should say it on 1, 2, Chase Morris.
Chase Morris. I would have gone with Patricio Gonzalez.
See, I thought you were going to go yourself, which is why I quickly blurted out Chase.
I mean, myself, obviously, but that's the too obvious.
Patricio, Pat, your man crush. You love that little Mexican.
Love that little Mexican guy, man. Had a heck of a cannon. Should have played with us more. I'll never forgive Lindbergh for coming over instead of him. But, Limbo's a good dude, so what you going to do?
Oh, man, if Pat only knew how much you talked about him over the years, I think he would probably have not talked to you at all when he came to games.
He'd be like, oh, that guy freaks me out. Yeah. So, hey, man, I think this was a successful one. Did we not hit on anything? Any last parting words?
I think we did it well. I think it's a little long. I think we got some editing work to do. We don't bore the hell out of people like it's a 12-paragraph DeGrazio email.
Mike's going to love the run he's gotten in this thing.
I know. I'm just slowly working them in there, so at least one other person listens to this damn thing. No, I think we hit everything, man. Good stuff.
All right, brother.
All right. Enjoy the rest of the wormhole.
I will. Cheers.
Cheers.